Welcome back, everyone. Gravel is not a one-size-fits-all stone, and Shirley is here to unearth the basics and share some tips on how we can best use it in our landscapes.
I know, gravel's really exciting, but this time of year, Cam, is my favorite. Spring.
Of course it is.
I mean, I'm going crazy with all these garden shows. And before I get into gravel, I want to share with you just like a little clip of myself at the International Orchid Show. I just could not stop sharing. Look at this. Beautiful inspiration. I was sharing this all day on my social media.
I saw it. I was watching and enjoying, and I thought to myself, and not only that, Shirley checked another item off her Spring Fever bucket list, visit a home and garden event, so well done, Shirley.
Thank you, my dear.
Thank you for sharing those photos. Now let's talk all things gravel.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of different ways that we can use gravel in our landscapes.
Yes. And there are different types of gravel, Cam. There's different sizes, there's different uses. And so now I want to encourage you guys. I want to show you some of my landscape projects and how I use gravel that you may not even, look at this. This is a whimsical literacy garden I created for a school with blue tumbled glass as gravel. Look at that in that garden. And then this is an informal patio using crushed pea gravel, but a really pretty one for the people who like to pot up their plants, have a gorgeous area to go to, not expensive. And then this is a great media for using in walkways. This is a red lava rock in a vegetable garden. So it's a lot less expensive than concrete and all those other pavings, and it feels and sounds really good.
I mean, and looks fantastic too. So take us through some different types of gravel.
Okay, now we talked about using gravel in the garden, that blue tumbled glass.
Yeah.
Well, I would suggest to you and you at home, consider the color of your gravel. You can make gorgeous pairings. Look at this combination. The caramel tones are coming out on the fire sticks. Look at the contrast of the euphorbia and the white gravel. Look at this contrast of the black with the green and white hebe.
Beautiful.
I mean, gorgeous. Oh, I love, this is my favorite. The jade green with the bougainvillea. And then now I want to show you how you can do this at home, because there is a way of doing it.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go. You have your plants in your garden bed. You have your soil. The first thing I like to do is to put some mulch, and you can help me with this.
Sure.
Just put the mulch on top of the soil, because what you're doing then is you're giving the soil something to be nourished by, and that's good. That's a good enough layer.
Okay.
Because remember, the gravel is radiant heat, is going to have a lot of radiant heat reflected.
Okay.
You don't want that just up against your roots.
Good to know.
So put that, right?
Okay.
Get a little landscape fabric.
And what does this function as?
And this is going to separate the gravel from the mulch. It's also going to retard weed growth from growing back in.
Okay.
And then now we're going to throw our gravel on top. And look at this color, guys. I love this. Tell me if you don't love the combination of this with the beautiful dark aeonium. I mean, you can become a designer. Look at that, guys. Absolutely gorgeous.
That's beautiful.
You can do this. Look at, I mean, I'm in love.
I love how you combine the colors like that.
And it's a
so
very
great.
practical material. Like I said, it comes in a lot of different types.
Okay, and so we've got the stone, the gravel for our gardens, but also we have gravel for our walkways as well.
And I want to show you something about that. Now, we showed you all this beautiful decorative stuff.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, they're only familiar with this half of these gravels. This is construction gravel, large. It's chipped and crushed, and here's the small pea gravel. This should be used for construction because it locks in and you can walk on it. Then there's these beautiful tumbled type of rocks, and these come from river areas, large and small. But there is a unique type that a lot of people are not familiar with, and this is called a woodstone. It's an actual gravel that's just flat, and it's perfect for hillsides, because when you put it on a hillside, it doesn't roll down.
Genius.
Right? Okay,
I know
now
somebody
use
who
that
had
here.
a truckload of round gravel for a hillside. It all rolled down the hill.
And then they track it in their
I
shoes,
know.
right? Okay, so take a look at this. This, we have the woodstone.
Okay.
And it's very important that when you create your walkway, you always have some kind of, ledger, something on the sides to keep it there. Edging.
Beautiful.
You need edging. So I'm going to show you how to make that.
Great.
In miniature
Shirley,
form,
you're
though.
on fire today.
I know,
Here we
but
go.
let's pretend this is your ground, your landscape.
Okay.
So what first thing you do, you dig down for your walkway 6 inches.
Okay.
All right, you have your edging to keep everything in place.
Got it.
First thing, you're going to tamp this down, make it level. Again, landscape fabric to keep weeds from coming.
Very good.
And I think we had here, these are very important, landscape pins. These,
To keep that fabric
you're
down.
going to make sure that you tack it nice and tight.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got 3 different materials. Help me out.
Sure.
Okay, remember the construction gravel I talked about? Okay, we're gonna do that first,
Okay.
2 inches. We're gonna pretend that's 2 inches.
Okie dokie.
Okay, this is your base, okay? This is what's gonna keep all of the walkway in place. Second, we're gonna use an inexpensive crushed pea gravel, 2 inches, that's good. And then each of these layers, you're gonna use this here, my friends. This is called a tamp. You're gonna tamp it down, each layer.
Excellent.
Okay, then,
So you're building the gravel up, putting in
Yes.
the base, the larger to the smaller, and now what do we add on
now
top now?
we are a little more expensive designer gravel that you
Excellent.
love because you don't want to use as much of it. That's why you use those other layers.
This is what we're gonna see, but everything else is the base below.
Exactly, and that's how I keep
So
it
smart.
less expensive. And you tamp it down, and oh, did I almost crush it?
No,
How
I'm
about
just
you
kidding.
tamp it?
I'll tamp it down.
Okay, and here's my tip. Every time you're done with building, you always wet it. I'm using this, but hose it down. It'll bring the gravel and the dust down and make the colors come out. It's gorgeous.